All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing, the hell is this? Werewolf the Apocalypse tonight. We are continuing our Future Lies and Dust campaign, and we had left off on questionable driving techniques by one Mr. Duke Dustfang, but probably really the fault of Lou Riel. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We had a little bit of a clip. So we're gonna start off like right in combat. So that'll be fun. But before we do that, why don't we go ahead and get some intros out of the way? So Jeremy, tell us about Eustace and why you're gonna miss him once this fight is over.
Yeah, well, Eustace, he's Philodox, Hart, Warden. Just overall pretty nice guy. Try to be well balanced. I suppose I'll miss him because he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, he is a nice guy.
But next I'll make a Galliard that's a mime and it'll be great.
Be absolutely phenomenal. I'm looking forward to that new character. Melissa, tell us about a Selena Bendis. That's better. Benz would probably not be a good last name to have.
Probably not. Selena is our original OG aging hippie werewolf of the pack. She's got some leftover hardcore health damage and willpower damage from like the last thing that we did. So she was glad that the vehicle that she was in didn't go tumbling, and she would prefer not to take more of the really heavy kind of damage things.
Okay. Didn't we do something last time around where like we did kind of like with your, because with regen we did like a kind of halfway there kind of thing where we just sort of like retcon some.
That's how I went from like completely all the way.
Okay, good. So I won't feel as bad for once about that. Okay, good. Whew. All right. At least we had that opportunity. Next up, we have an old man who really should stop driving his car. We have Duke Dustfang. Tell us about Duke.
Yeah, I'm playing Duke Dustfang, everyone's favorite class, the Galliard. He is probably going to die, but he was following good old Luke because you know what? He let people make decisions, and look what happened.
Yep.
And now he is going to get run over by a car or shot. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but at least I'm sure we can hear the soft sounds of West Virginia still playing in the broken down Bronco as he says his goodbyes.
Oh, goodness. Okay. God, if only we could not get a copyright strike for playing some of that. That would be great. Next, we've got, honestly, the person that some people some people out there, there's people out there who say it's Lou's fault. There's people in here.
It's a lot of hearsay going on.
Who defend yourself?
Slander. Slander is all I hear. Lou is a lovable Ragabash glasswalker who's never done anything wrong and has the best plans ever. And she likes to investigate things and not fight. Please and thank you.
And insert joke about child being left.
My kid is
zombies.
fine. He's smart enough to run away.
Yeah, is he fast enough?
But is he fast enough?
Yeah, sure. Well, he knows how to drive. He just needs to get to a car.
Yeah.
I taught him how to hijack a car.
He knows how to hijack a car. He knows how to cook some proper
sure.
wings.
He does.
Your
He does know how
argument
to
for your
cook proper
parenting
wings.
skills just keeps getting better.
I'm the best parent.
What it is?
Definitely taught him how to
about a
hotwire a car.
About the dream. I don't know what it is about World of Darkness games on this channel where everyone's screw it. Kids are fine. They need to learn on their own.
He's 14. That's like practically an adult.
I mean, it is really, to be honest. And then finally, probably the lone survivor of tonight's fiasco. We've got Jacques. So tell us about Jacques, Aaron.
You want to know what Jacques Roulette? Jacques Roulette, he is a lie. You see, the desert. The full moon, the warrior moon, the Ahroun moon shining down on a group of men dumping toxic waste in the desert. They don't hear it, but we hear the quiet claws patting across the desert. And then the teeth, the fangs and the claws strike, and we hear screams. We feel blood coursing down our throat and covering our fur. And then it's quiet again, and all we hear are quiet claws receding back into the desert. That is the Garou that I am.
Okay. All right. Let's get started. As, I want to leave enough time for new character creation tonight. Yeah, sorry, it's going. Okay, so last session, you all were dealing with the aftermath, the listening station. You took a bunch of bodies from there, some mercs, some station workers, some diner attendees, etc. They were all in a comatose state. You were taking them after like the disconnection from the creature kind of caused some weird stuff. There was a significant amount of deliberation, but eventually Duke offered up his safe house, which was separate from the sept. And Lou, you put your son Lucas with the job of keeping eye on the survivors.
It's
Duke,
good
you
for
also
a child to have job.
No, totally, absolutely. I'm sure he loved it. Duke, you also took a ride down to Tucson. You met with an elder of a sept named Mona. You were talking about this black residue that you saw your packmate subsume. And she gave you a lead. She pointed you to a person by the name of Josiah Dawncall, this sort of eccentric aged werewolf in northern Arizona that you actually already had a very brief run-in with. And elsewhere, I think Jacques, you went and did some hunting with your gang girlfriend Isabel. Eustace, you tried to help Danny Perez, the drifter ghost in Heart and Soul along a little bit. Meanwhile, I think Lou and Selena, you were going through the files that you had managed to salvage from the Echo Labs listening station. You found reports that suggested that the company was aware of the Karen spirit and that they were like monitoring it, and they were talking about behavioral changes and things like that. You also got a name where a lot of these reports were being sent was to a woman named Sasha Bennett. And you got your partner, Riley, to go investigate that a bit while you guys were busy doing other things. You also were able to cross-reference some of that data with some of the maps that Duke had gathered. And you discovered that there were two other kind of lab sites or something like that Echo Labs seemed to have in the region, and both corresponded, at least according to Duke's map, to areas that were in or near old, ancient, abandoned cairn sites. One of them you even had latitude and longitude for, so it was embedded in the metadata, and that was like about 90 miles southeast of where your sept is. The other was like way off in the far west valley, but that was about all you had. You guys decided that you were going to go deal with this Dawnclaw ritual, see if you can get this ritual, clean this up. It's like a ticking time bomb you wanted to sort of nip in the bud. So the other packs at your sept decided to go and take a look at those leads that you had instead. But on the way, you all noticed you're being followed at a certain point, and there was an unexplained detour that was kind of set up by some local cops. And while trying to bypass the detour, Duke's vehicle rolled over. He is in the Bronco. It rolled down a rocky embankment, crashing right back down onto the highway that was shut down because of the detour. Luke, you came down that embankment okay, and you backtracked just in time to see these local cops that were pulling Duke up out of his vehicle when he was trying to play old man, and Jacques kind of loped away in his lupus form. They got shot as coming backwards was this SUV where there were people that were kind of leaning out the windows, firing. They took out both of the cops. Then they smashed into your vehicle, into your Bronco, Lou, sending you all spinning and spinning and spinning. And so we are going to start up almost exactly where we just ended. As you're spinning and spinning, Duke, you watch in your arms or just next to you as the body of this cop just kind of falls down. Big old hole up in their forehead, and you can see they just collapse to the ground. The SUV itself doesn't really seem to be damaged. In fact, you see like these flares that start coming out, and this red light starts opening up all around, giving the area some strange shadows, but also like this red hue. Let's see. I think Selena, Lou, and Eustace aren't all three of you, I believe, are in the SUV that's currently spinning. That's in Lou's Camino, El Camino, that's currently spinning. Excuse me. Duke, you're on foot. Just got out of the wreckage of the El Camino. Dead cop at your feet. Jacques, you're off the sideway. You're off the side of the highway. You're in lupus form. I would say Jacques and Duke, you have no trouble seeing the SUV come to a stop. And you can see the doors open and two people come out in full like riot gear. They've got assault rifles, probably what was being used to shoot. And they're like holding, like they're like using the open doors almost as cover. You can hear a radio or music start to come blaring out of the SUV itself. And then coming out of the back of that SUV, you see two more individuals, both carrying shotguns, starting to loop around the backside of the SUV. One seems to be kind of closing in on the spinning El Camino, and one seems to be going in the direction of where Duke is. So that's where everybody is. You all are basically like just short of like an underpass. That's where you kind of fell down, just short of that underpass. And there's darkness in both directions, and there's like this pocket of light where you guys are fighting now, where your headlights and where these flares are kind of giving this some light. And that's where we're at. So let's talk about what you guys want to do. So let's just walk through it. We'll go through the order on the screen. So Eustace, what will Eustace be up to?
Well, normally I'd be the sort to at least make an attempt to try and talk this through, but seeing as how they just gunned down an innocent lawman, we were kind of past the talking stage. Yeah, two of them. I apologize. Didn't mean to disgrace you, whatever your name is. I can't see your badge.
Doesn't answer.
Yeah. All right. Well, I really hate to do it, but I suppose the thing to do is to just wolf out, run at them, and whoever's closest, maybe one of those ones who's using the door as cover, just make sure to charge, throw my full body weight into it to kind of use the door against them. You know, always use their strength as a weakness. Push the door into them to pin them, and then just shove my claws repeatedly through the open window, trying to disembowel them.
There's a lot happening there. Let's start with your changing into form and crawling out and hoping to attack. I think the nearest one. The nearest one, there is someone with a shotgun moving up close around the El Camino. So that's the first thing you do. I'm just going to get what everyone's doing, and then we'll go back and resolve it all. So Selena, you are also in the El Camino, which never rolled over. It just sort of spun around in like in a 360 a bit. So what are you doing, Selena?
So Selena wants to do something super cool with Hair's Leap, where she wants to see if she can like jump with a Hair's Leap in such a way as to like put her weight on like the backside of a vehicle or something, and like use a vehicle to kind of do some damage to somebody. So like it looks cool in her head.
All right. So you also want to shift. And then you're going to do Hair's Leap. Okay?
Yes,
all right?
yes.
All right. Duke, you're on the ground, dead cop at your feet. There is, I would say, not that far away from you. The SUV has come to a stop. There's two people using the doors as kind of cover. They have assault rifles trained, and there seems to be a guy with a shotgun that's slowly moving up around the backside of your now turned over Bronco. What would you like to do, Duke?
Okay. And I could easily could find somewhere to get around the Bronco to take cover, right, from where he is.
You could take cover. It does seem like someone's sweeping towards you, but you could easily.
So he wants to. I want to have Duke take cover around the side that the guy's coming around, and then as the guy comes around, Duke will peer out and use stare down.
Okay. So then we'll go to Lou. Lou, what do you want to try to accomplish? You're in the driver's seat of the El Camino. It's spinning around. What do you want to do?
Eustace right now is just gotten out, but he hasn't engaged the shotgun fellow yet.
Nothing's really happened yet. I'm just kind of getting an idea for what everyone's doing, and then based upon what everyone declares, then the order of events will happen. Like so you just like walk me through what Lou is thinking of doing.
I'm gonna drive over the guy with the shotgun. obviously.
Okay. And then
Nice.
Jacques, what would you be doing? You saw all this. I would say you saw all this happen. You're further away from everybody else, but you can still hear everything. You can still hear people, gunfire, the radio, the whatever, all that kind of stuff. So you can see it and hear it, but you're a little bit further away. You're not 100% sure yet whether or not they know you're there. But it doesn't. But they do seem to be closing on the others right now. So what would Jacques be up to?
That's tough. My choices are head to the wolf sanctuary and take a nap.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
But I think what he's actually going to do is he's going to circle around, shift into Krynos, charge the one with the assault rifle on the near side that he's at.
Okay.
And extend his razor claws once he becomes Krynos.
Okay, so Jacques, Krynos, Eustace, are you going into Krynos? Is Selena going into Krynos? You both said you were shifting. Are you both going into Krynos?
Yeah, that does seem like the thing to do. They're heavily armed.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to need to moon quicken Moon Mild first.
Howl of the moon.
Howl of the moon. That's fine.
It's a free action, right?
It's a free action. Yeah, that's free action. Okay, so the way that we're going to resolve this then, normally what happens, close combat between engaged parties goes first, then ranged combat, then newly initiated combat, then anything else. So some shots are going to go off first before we kind of do anything else. So everyone's basically got cover effectively. So I'm going to say, just for the sake of making this go a little bit easier, we'll say that you guys... Everybody with the exception of Jacques, will give you for right now, for these shots, we'll say 3 armor as they're going to be firing and lighting everything up. And if I hit, we'll talk about how armor works in a sec. So I actually punched some of these into the system to see if I can get this to work right. So we'll start with out front. Duke, you're going to take shots from 2. And then 2 shots are going to go into the car. All right. So first one against Duke is you and this shotgun guy are both kind of circling around in different directions, and you're trying to kind of get this moment. Since yours is actually ranged, let's go ahead and do this contested. Go ahead and roll your stare down, and I'm going to roll to see if he can get a shot off before your stare down kind of goes
okay,
through.
Can you give me a point of rage? I got a howl.
You should be able to. Oh,
every time I click it,
you
unlock your character sheet.
Unlock. Just unlock your character sheet.
Click the one next to the one that's X'd out. Don't click the X'd out one.
No. Oh, there we go.
Who does
unlock.
new character sheets we're working through?
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, new character sheets. Sorry, guys.
Yep.
All right. So just roll it. Let's see.
Yeah, give it the roll, and then
3 successes.
Okay, so then I am actually going to just mess around with rolling on this and see how this goes. Okay, 5 successes. So your stare down will go off, but it doesn't go off in time before he actually gets the shot of the shotgun off. So I'm going to say the difference of 2 is still going to go through. But because you guys kind of are at this weird angle around the upturned Bronco, you can see that that corner of the Bronco that you managed to put between you and him, as you peek your head up, it just ruptures as the shotgun goes through it, but not enough comes through to actually hit you. I will say, though, that one thing you notice is the kind of pellets and such that are inside that are sticking out of the metal of the Bronco itself. They don't look like normal normal spread shells, and maybe one of them kind of just grazes you, and you feel a burn, and you realize looking down that he's firing silver at you. There's actually silver bullets at you. So your stare down ability will
so you can make a composure resolve roll. Oh wait, this is a mundane human, right?
He is it is there a difference between in
the description?
He's aware.
He might be going crazy if because of all the werewolf changes if they're mundane, wouldn't they?
Well, if they're shooting silver at us, they know what we are.
Yeah, they're aware,
Yeah.
so he's not gonna. It's not gonna
they're
like be
not
automatic.
regular.
So he's gonna get a roll. So it's a what is it again?
Composure plus resolve.
All right, let me see. You rolled 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get like a crit to be able to not have an effect, and I didn't. So he freezes up as you manage to lock him down. Shotgun. He's getting ready to pull the trigger again, but it doesn't yet go off. So first guy resolved. Then the assault rifle guy that is sort of was covering this man's approach as you're looping around this upturned Bronco. He too will fire at you. In this case, let's see. Where are they? All right. He's going to not do that well. He's going to do 4 successes. So effectively what this is going to do, I said I was giving you 3 armor. So the way armor works in this game is that normally when you take aggravated damage, if you have armor, it will take, for every point of armor you have, you downgrade one of those aggravated damage down into superficial. And so normally this would be you taking 4 aggravated because he too is firing silver bullets. But because
now I'm in human form, does that affect me still?
Great point. Let me check. Let me see if that's affecting you.
I did not shift.
There's one
Silver immunity.
Silver immunity. Okay, so you will, and then in that case take
9 points of damage.
No, you're still going to end up taking probably just like 1 superficial, I think. Yeah,
okay.
Just 1 superficial. As you will get like a graze. Meanwhile, the closing in on that upturned El Camino, or not upturned, the spinned out El Camino is going to be the shotgun guy and the other shotgun guy and the other assault rifle fire. Lou, I'm going to say it because you're going to try to run over specifically the shotgun guy. We'll say we'll do the same thing. We'll see if you can do that before he gets his shot off. So we'll kind of contest to see if he can get his shotgun off before you're able to fire. So go ahead and let's say for your action, give us a drive test. Dexterity, I think, is probably the best attribute for you to use.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Let's see
Show us your skills.
Show us it wasn't your fault all along.
Let's see.
I mean, I'm about to fail now. You put too much pressure on it.
Come on, you
no.
Weaver lover, you can do it.
2 success.
All right. So let me see if I beat that, he's going to get his shot off instead. 5 successes. So his shot will go off. You will still hit him, but his shot will go off and it will go into the car. So you, Lou, as you kick it into reverse, you go into sort of reverse gear. You're going to knock him down and effectively like knock him down, and he'll get kind of trapped underneath a bit. But he will get a shot off wildly through like the back of the window that's going to hit you. And it's going to kind of maybe come through the rear windshield and then through the back of your seat. The 3 points of armor I was giving you for the car will convert 3 of those successes down to superficial. So you'll end up taking... I'm sorry, doing math here. Actually, no, you got to. Yeah, you're gonna end up taking 3 superficial damage.
Okay,
I'm sorry, 2 superficial damage. I can do math.
Okay, 2 superficial damage. All right, there we go.
And you too feel the familiar, we'll say, burn of silver. However, he does get knocked down and back. These guys are pretty armored. So I'm going to say he is currently pinned underneath your car.
Then I will quickly yell out to the rest of them. They have silver bullets, and I've turtled this one if anybody wants to rip his head off. Thank you.
Okay. Then the assault rifle guy will fire once more into the car. I'm going to roll randomly to see whether this is going to be Eustace or Selena. As this is not going to be contested, he's just going to open fire onto Selena. So before you're able, because this is range combat, this is going to trigger first. So he's going to fire
I'm not in Krynos yet.
You're not in Krynos yet.
Oh,
Oops.
but silver immunity.
I already rolled it.
It's okay.
Okay.
No one roll. Don't do anything yet for Krynos because something else is about to happen. All right. So then you are going to take. Let's see. That's 4 successes. 3 armor will reduce that. So you're going to take 3 superficial and 1 aggravated damage, Selena, as your side of the car gets lit up, and while the metal door of the El Camino blocks many of those shots, a few of them go through the window and they catch you as well. Okay.
Ow!
Oh no.
So now that the car has rolled over, Lou has pinned one underneath the car. Duke has done stare down on. So both of the guys carrying shotguns have been effectively suppressed for now. But both of the guys that have the assault rifles that are still firing. Eustace and Selena, I'm going to say you two are probably closest. So let's start with you. Both of you wanted to go into Krynos. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you need to make 4 rage checks. As when you try to convert into Krynos, you feel yourselves just almost like you're having this momentary lapse of vertigo, and you just hear ringing in your ears whatever music that's coming out of that's blaring out of that SUV. You just feel the world just get confusing and you struggle. So go ahead, and both you have to make 4 rage checks. This is an ability.
Roll all of our rage dice 4 times or 4 individual
It is. Hang on, let me pull it up. So you need to
I had already done 2 rage checks because I had accidentally pre-rolled the Krynos, so I need to roll 2 more.
So it's 4 rage dice that you're rolling, because a rage check is just normally a one rage, and so that means you're doing that 4 times. Right. So for a total of 4, you have to pass 4 rage dice in a row.
I succeeded at 2 and failed at 2.
Okay, so remember that the rage check reduces rage, and if you still have stuff left over, you obviously can, everything will go fine. Also, I would say all of you can probably take an extra point of rage, considering everything. You guys got into a car accident. Your car got flipped over. Like, all that kind of stuff happened. So I think everyone can probably bump themselves up 1.
Oh, I see. It's still, I need to do it 3 more times. I get it now. It didn't do it all at once. Sorry.
A rage roll is just a single dice.
It's a single die. And you're doing 4. You have to do 4 of them.
So I still have 2 left. Okay.
Is that 3 or 4?
It's just rocking it.
3.
That was
Okay,
3?
so
okay.
Yeah,
that
so
was 3. You've got 1
you've
more.
only failed 1, Eustace, and you passed the other 3.
He succeeded 3 times and then failed the last one.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, my bad. And then Selena, you had much worse effect. Okay. So
2
now,
successes and then 2 failures.
okay. So adjust your rage as needed. Both of you, Krynos out. I'm going to assume you step out of the El Camino first beforehand, so you don't rip the Camino to shreds. So the 2 of you step out.
Of course, respect the ride.
You are, I would say, Eustace, the closest person you can see underneath the El Camino. The shotgun guy's trying to climb out from underneath. He is bedecked in some kind of armor. Selena, you said you wanted to do a leap. Both of you, because you did a shift, you have -2 penalty on whatever other actions that you do this round. So Selena, let's start with you. You're doing your leap. Go ahead and do your hare's leap with a -2 because of the shift. So that's a strength plus glory test that you're trying to do, as you're trying to leap essentially onto the SUV. Is that right?
You're still muted, Melissa.
Thank you. Yes, I'm muted. Goodness, I'm only rolling 4 dice, so now I'm only rolling 2 dice. Modifier.
Don't forget your Krynos. That's +4 dice to your physical actions.
Yep, and this is a physical action. So you would get it here.
Let's
so
see if the sheet automatically
it does
figures
not.
that out.
It does not.
Oh,
it does not.
sorry.
It does not. I mentioned that before we started playing. It doesn't.
That's right.
Doesn't remember your form.
Okay, so it's +4 +2 +6
6 total.
So I'm rolling 6 dice. Okay. So strength plus
plus glory. Okay, so that is
feel like that was-
that's too many. It's too many dice. So
sorry. What did
that's
I
fine. That's fine. We'll take just the first. We'll taste the first 4, and we'll take the other 2. So you're gonna leap on. Oh, we're gonna say this. You're gonna leap onto the SUV, no problem. And you're going to, because you got a brutal success on there. It looks like you got it's not a brutal result because you need 2. But we'll say that as you land on top of it, part of the SUV begins to sink down. You feel like some of the windows crack at the same time. It's not going to necessarily do any damage to anyone inside, but you essentially kind of pin whoever's inside just a little bit as the ceiling begins, the roof of the car begins to slip down. Eustace, the closest person to you that you could potentially attack this turn is right underneath you, trying to crawl out from underneath the car. What do you want to do?
Okay. Well, first I will take a moment to do a check for my raging strike.
Okay.
I botched that, but it still goes through. It just lowers my rage, and
Just
that's
lowers rage,
okay.
yeah. Mhm.
So that would have given me 3 because I recently raised my so I'm trying to glory up to 3.
Mhm.
So 4, 3. Okay, so I'll get a +5.
And I'm going to say take an extra +2 as he is partially pinned beneath the car and climbing out. So we'll say take an extra +2 just from Lou
okay.
having
Well,
pinned the
that
car on
balances
top
out
of
my -2. I like that. So this is where I get to roll 13 dice.
it. Okay. Okay.
Oh my god.
So
Wow.
Eustace, you
I'm
want
gonna bite his face off.
You're
Or
not
try to.
actually. You're not
Yeah.
actually. They are drenched in.
I'm
like,
sure.
He is coated in armor, and as you are biting and scraping through, you feel your teeth just go, as you try to bite and squeeze his head in two. But whatever they have on their helmets just seems to keep your head, your actual jaw from clenching down and popping it like it was a tomato. You nonetheless hear him scream, "Rah!" As it does. It's not like it doesn't actually do anything. It certainly does. And then you rake through the back, and the same thing happens. Whatever armor they're wearing is pretty robust. You're still going to do damage though. But basically, it's just like I was saying with armor.
That's
it's going to
fine.
reduce.
It's just like an
a lot of
animal
that.
toying
Yeah.
with its food. It's pinned. He's grabbed it by the head. He's just shaking as hard as he can.
Okay, and
I like
then
the visual.
let's see. Let me double check. I'm just double checking to see how much health this guy has. He's going to survive it. Yeah, he'll survive it. Okay. Oops. 1, 2. Okay.
Lou
all right,
could do
then-
some techie stuff to their.
Then let's go over to Jacques. Jacques, you were at the furthest distance from all of this, so it's last to go. You see things have started to engage. So Jacques, you said you were also going to Krenos and try to charge into the closest rifle wearer. Okay.
And I have to do the 4 rage checks too.
You do too. Yeah, anyone within hearing range, which you are within. Okay.
Hey, it automatically deducts your rage on the character sheets. That's cool.
It did? Perfect.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Looks like you just failed. Oh, you failed 2.
Just
Okay.
failed 2. Failed 2.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you kind of turn into your Krenos form and you go charging in at the nearest. I'm going to say that for this round, you'll close the distance unless you have like a hair's leap ability or something like that. Like Selena will say you close the distance, but it'll be in melee basically for next round.
Yeah. Now, if I got cat's feet, but it doesn't make me faster, it just makes me harder for me to fall.
And you don't take fall damage and stuff. Yeah.
Right, yep.
Okay. All right. So resetting then, we've got Duke.
Oh,
you are
can I howl at the moon as I'm charging in?
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Duke, you've got one stair down right in front of you. He's a handful of feet away. You see that he's got this helmet on. His visor is covering him. You hear the sounds of that song or whatever it is playing from the SUV behind. But I would say you're also close enough to this guy's face that you're hearing like blaring in his ears, like step out of it. And then Eustace, you are essentially tearing away at one person's climbing out from underneath the El Camino. Lou, you're still in the car. Selena, you are on top of the SUV that has the 2 assault rifle guys on either side, and Jacques has closed the distance to the driver's side of one. So let's declare actions, and then we will go from there. So folks that are already in melee are Eustace, Jacques, and I'll say Selena and Duke if you wanted to melee. So I assume that's what Eustace is doing, no problem. Jacques, same thing. Selena, absolutely. Which target would you be going for? Immediate so is it one targets you have is a driver's side that Jacques is going after, or the passenger side, which is not touched currently.
Passenger side. Jacques will take care of driver's side.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So when you look for my dead body, look on the passenger side.
Okay. Each of you go ahead and roll your attacks. Let me double check their stats as they just start bashing. Okay.
And I'm going to spend a willpower to re-roll 3 dice.
Gotcha.
So I just need to ask this question because, Aaron, you've done this more than I have in Kranos. So physical tests are +4 and claws are +3. So then that's a
Correct.
+7 to whatever strength and melee would be.
Not to the the claws is to the damage, not to the dice. So after you roll, then you add that into your damage.
So the +4 is to hit.
Yep. I don't think that didn't actually re-roll. I don't think my willpower.
We'll start with Eustace. Eustace, how'd you do?
9 successes.
Eustace, you're raking through him. He's like, and then finally, like, you just with your claw, like we'll say, he just tries to roll over. Like you think maybe he's trying to like shoot the shotgun at you. Actually, hang on. I need all 3 of you to spend willpower points because you're in Kranos and you didn't kill anyone last turn.
Okay.
So to maintain frenzy, it should be fine, but just remember that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so as he's just trying to roll over, you think it's to shoot a shotgun, but you realize as he turns over, he just looks up at you. You can see his face bleeding. His mouth is crooked. His jaws broke. And he says, "Die, you fucking dog!" And you look in his hand. There is a grenade that explodes. Eustace, you kill this guy, but he does manage to pull the pin before he dies. Lou, this is going to affect you as well. As Eustace, you're going to take 4 points of aggravated damage. Ooh. As this is specifically a silver-laced explosive. Lou, you're not going to take any of the silver damage, but we'll just say you take maybe like 2 points of superficial as the car is like lifted up on the side, and you just kind of get thrown around a bit as the rear of the car kind of explodes upwards.
So, fun fact, I've got 6 aggravated and I had 2 superficial. So that would be 2 superficial to 2 more aggravated, and that's my whole health bar.
Okay.
Unconscious.
So Lou goes unconscious inside the El Camino, which is now on fire and getting ready to explode. Okay.
Due to silver damage too, so that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, she did from the previous shot. Selena, how did you do?
Selena got 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. That is not enough, actually, as he will turn around and using his assault rifle, he will hold it up. And as you try to like leap down on top of him, jaws open, he will shove essentially the assault rifle right into your mouth as you start gnawing on it. I'll even say you rip it apart, which is perfectly fine, but you're not able to do any damage to him this round. Okay. Jacques, how did you do?
I got 7 successes plus 5 damage, so be a total of 12.
All right, so that's there's differential.
Right.
So 7 successes minus 3, so it's 4 successes, 4 damage plus 3, so that's 7 points of damage.
Plus
is that
5.
correct?
Plus
Or
5.
plus 5. So shit, that's 9 points of damage. Is that right?
9 points of damage. Yeah.
Okay, 9 points of damage. So let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then he'll take 3 ag. That's actually not enough to kill him. He is hanging on by a thread as you come up to him, and he holds up his gun. He's trying to parry it just like Selena, but you just throw it and you see it go clattering to the side. You basically pin him back against the car itself and just start raking away. And you're ripping through this very heavy kind of military grade like body armor that he sees. And eventually you get through and you start seeing red and flesh start tearing, but you can see he's still just barely hanging on to life. Okay. Then let's go to Duke. Duke, you've got this guy locked on stare down. He's getting signals into his ear. What do you want to do?
Is anyone? He's the only guy who's like looking over here now, right? With everything else going on.
That is correct. Yeah. One of them just exploded himself underneath Eustace in the car. Selena and Jacques have 2 others that they're attacking. 2. Yeah. You don't know it's actually inside the SUV.
Right. I think Duke is going to, since that guy's distracted with the stare down, he's going to run past him and he's going to try and do like a, I don't know, cool Dukes of Hazzard sliding across the hood, trying to grab Lou out of the car and pull her out and try and like kind of take her away.
Yeah, I think, I mean, honestly,
cool.
Just do an athletics test just to see how cool it looks. It's going to be successful no matter what. But how it looks is really what's at stake here with this roll.
Yeah, don't worry. It's gonna look real.
Because no one is actually, now that there's 3 Krynos werewolves.
I just want to let everybody know that you guys are all distracted, so no one's watching this. This is just for the audience.
He can see. The shotgun guy
just
will
gonna see
He
how
will tell
cool this old man looks.
Yeah, how cool this
Jacques will come
60-year-old
up
rolls.
about ready to kill the shotgun guy. He's like, no, wait. Let me tell you something first.
Story.
I got a 0 for my flavor.
It is.
Oh.
I had 1 dice.
You bang her head off.
You bang her head like 5 or 6 times as you come out here and there.
It's more because that's how I feel about her. It's not because I wanted it to be cool. It's just,
Eventually you
I think
realize,
you managed to pull out
Captain
her arm.
remembers this.
You get her like halfway out the window, then you realize, oh, I'm such an idiot. And you just open the door and then you drag her out. Like, oh, that's what I should have done the whole time. Okay. And then I have 2 more things to do. So first off, it's 50-50 who's going to get this. All right. So Selena, you're going to get the first one as you are on the passenger side. You just got in your mouth, like you just snapped one of these assault rifles in your mouth, and you're trying at this one guy who is still in full health. That's when you hear the vague sounds of a shotgun cocking and then glass explode as inside the SUV in the back seat, there's a man with a shotgun now firing out the window in your direction. It's going to be against Selena, so this is going to be just a shot. Nothing to do but get shot. All right, so this is combat specialist. Okay. All right. What was go ahead? So it's going to be. He's firing through the car. So again, I'm going to give that sort of limitation for the armor. You're going to take a grand total of 3 points of superficial damage and 2 points of aggravated damage. As silver explodes out the passenger side of the car.
3 points of superficial. And so when you're in Krynos, you start with that temp health when you're taking damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Extra 4, yep.
Yeah, it's
so
there once you shift.
And 2 3 temp and 2 aggravated. Okay, got it.
And then Since she got that one, that means Jacques, you're going to get the other one.
Reasonable.
Jacques.
That hurt, by the way, just in case that wasn't clear. That hurt a lot.
Jacques, you take 5 points of aggravated damage as you feel a sharp and penetrating pain, a burning sensation in pain that just seems almost like it's perfectly shot center mass. As you're reaching back with this doing this claw on the man in front of you that is nearly dead, you just feel like a right perfect shot. It's not a shotgun blast. It's not an assault rifle blast. You just, and it explodes out the back. You see this burn, like your skin and your fur kind of recoils from the silver as it, and you can kind of almost double over from the pain briefly. And that is the end of that round.
Was it from the guy that I'm fighting? Did he shoot me?
Do you have any? You're in Krenos, right? Not
yep.
Okay. Do you have any gifts that give you some kind of like heightened senses or anything like that?
No, not really. No, I mean my awareness is pretty high, but no, nothing.
No, it's got to be something sort of supernatural, basically, or heightened.
Nope.
You don't know, actually. It certainly wasn't the guy in front of you. That I'll say that. You know for sure it wasn't him, but you don't know where it comes from. And unlike Selena, like the glass didn't break on your side of the car. Like no one, you just got shot. Like you just got shot center mass from who knows where. Okay, start of the new round. Duke, you've dragged Lou to safety. You two are kind of tucked behind, we'll say, the front of the El Camino. Eustace, you are kind of coated with this silver-laced explosive, but the man that you were attacking is very much dead. The El Camino has suffered some damage. You can see the rear passenger side wheel has just, because of that grenade explosion, just been ruptured and sent free. And you're pretty sure that's not going to be driving anytime soon. The axle is kind of all busted as well. You can see that you are probably closest. You're probably just a handful of steps away from where Selena is fighting on the passenger side with one of these assault rifle guys. Jacques, you are still on the passenger side of the SUV. Selena, there is, now that the window is crushed, you can see that there is, in the back seat of this SUV, there is somebody with a shotgun pointing at you, and then you see a shadow behind him in like the next row, and like the rear row of this SUV. Jacques and Selena, you are already in melee, so we can start with you. If you guys want to continue, spend your willpower since you technically haven't killed anyone yet.
Damn.
I'm okay with that.
All right, so I guess I'm going to attack the one that was attacking still.
Yeah,
because I'm engaged with this one.
Yeah, and he doesn't have his weapon anymore to help him defend, so this is probably going to be easier for you.
First time in Krenos. It's mixed bag. What my thoughts are on it. Jury is still out. That looks like a slightly better 6 successes.
All right, I had 2 on his meager attempts to block you, so that's a difference of 4. So you have 4 successes. Okay. Plus,
can I say
the bonus? Yeah, go ahead.
I would do more claw than bite.
Yeah, that's fine.
So claws are +3.
Okay. So then that's +3. So you did a difference of, what did I say? A difference of 4. So you're doing 7 total. All right. And then, okay, that is actually not enough to kill him. But much like Jacques, you are just clawing and raking, and you're tossing him around like a cat would toss around like a mouse, but he's still, whatever they have on, it's just barely keeping them alive. He probably has a concussion galore as you just smash him against the SUV. You throw him down to the ground, you lift him up again, you rake your claw down, all the while, like whatever just protective coats he has on is the only thing that has kept him from just being completely and utterly demolished by you.
Yep.
Jacques, you just got shot. Your chest is burning. There is a man in front of you who is looking up at you with the grin. You see he's sort of desperately kind of reaching and reaching and reaching. And you see him pull out what appears to be a grenade in his hand. You're right in front of you. You have a hold of him. Chest is burning. Jacques, what are you doing?
So first, as a free action, I am going to do 4 rage checks to try to heal 2 aggravated points of damage.
Sure. Absolutely. Make sure you guys, and have you well, hang on 1 second. Does your regeneration get halted by the silver?
It doesn't.
Can't remember. Let me double check. Let's double check that.
This
Really
aggravated
fast.
damage takes 2 rage checks to heal a point.
Oh, that's right. I was forgetting about that.
Right.
It just says-
Normally it does. I'm just double checking something with silver.
Yeah, I
Silver
didn't do
damage.
any
It
regeneration.
just says fire or silver is the only thing that causes aggravated damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. Any damage. Any damage not caused. So regeneration, same page. Any damage not caused by fire or silver or that is otherwise stated is considered superficial. You rapidly regenerate any superficial damage sustained. Yeah, it doesn't say that. I don't think it does. It doesn't say that silver stops regeneration, it looks like.
So on my turn, I
tell.
could have done a rage check and healed 2 superficial if I passed my rage check.
Yeah. Okay, so I heal 2 aggravated levels. And only lose 1 point of rage. At that point, when I see this guy grab this grenade, I am going to grab him and shove him through the broken window into the back of this SUV.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's an athletics check or what. How you
That sounds good. Yeah, athletics, that sounds good to me.
it's
Okay. Let's see if you can. Okay. His resistance is not great.
No, much.
10 successes.
Yeah,
Whoa.
if it was brutal, if you would have got a brutal success, I was going to say you pushed him through to the other side. Okay, you shove him back into, like, he was the driver. You shove him back into the front seat, like where the open door was. You just shove him right inside, and do your best to sort of duck down. Okay. Then we go to Eustace. Eustace, you don't have to do willpower. You did kill a guy on your last turn. You are a handful of steps away from where Selena is, but you're close enough that you can move easily and attack on this turn without any issue, if you wanted.
Of course, yeah, that sounds like exactly what I want to do. She's kind of harrying him. I'm going to come up behind. Do the equivalent of like a werewolf full Nelson. You come up behind, he's flailing, he's defending himself. Wrap his arm up, get him locked in, and just bite down on his throat from behind. Just real classy like.
Fantastic. All right, he's going to have even a harder time of defending against this because this is his second time doing it. Okay.
Hooray. Okay.
I think I'm doing pretty well with these guys, to be honest. I think
These
think
guys
they're hard
are
asses.
kicking
good
our
for this
asses.
werewolf capture team. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
I had 1 success. Your difference is 6, Eustace. So Eustace, that will be enough to finish him off. If you wanted to go ahead and describe it.
Yeah, so it is. Basically, he's being harried by Selena, and then Eustace just kind of slips in behind, does a like half Nelson with one arm, bites into the throat, and just rips his head off.
Okay, so his throat comes hurtling out, blood spewing everywhere, and he falls to the ground.
She's going to
as well.
nod at you and she's going to be like, teed him up for you.
Okay.
I love the idea
And
of like
she's
a
like-
Crino werewolf giving the thumbs up.
2 rounds tried to kill him and you come in and take care of it. And she's like,
Because
yeah,
even
I
in the
teed it up
midst
for
of
ya."
full Crino rage, Eustace is still very supportive. And he's like,
Got this. Yeah.
Duke and Lou. Lou, you're unconscious. Do you have any rage left?
I have 2 rage. So
Because you
yes.
can, even while unconscious, you could attempt to regen. So
Even
if you
as a
have your-
human?
There is passive regen. Hang on. I just had this
Yeah, I
up.
wasn't sure if
I thought it was something about like the last time,
think
like the
humans can
last
regenerate.
right before you go into being a human, you get one last chance. Because I remember doing that when I went down last time.
Yeah, but she was always a human. She didn't shift.
Allowed to rest for
shift.
90 also regenerate 1 aggravated.
well,
Unable to
silly
regenerate.
head.
I was
Silly,
driving.
silly head.
Yeah, sorry.
Want
I
to
was
drive
trying to
as a
help you out,
wolf.
Sorry. Yep, not able.
driving.
Okay. So Duke, it's messy. You can definitely tell. I would say this. You can definitely tell that Eustace has, as you see him run to help out Selena, a huge chunk of the front of his body has been ripped up by the explosion. Like you can see burns, you can see explosion, you can see flesh and fur, and like the regeneration that would normally happen is kind of stitching kind of slowly. You can see Jacques too, as you see him step back. He's the same thing. His chest is just, there's this hole in it. And so it's not like a route like you've probably been used to seeing. What would you like to do, Duke?
Okay, quick question. Does Duke see the guy get pushed with the grenade? And is that grenade, was that ever like primed, or he was just had a grenade in his hand and he pushed him in there?
Yeah, technically, he it hasn't gone off yet.
Okay, so he was just in his hand and he got shoved in there.
Yeah.
Well, I think Duke is gonna continue to move Lou, I guess, around the El Camino, wherever away from fire would be.
Yeah.
Like continue to drag her, and then as he does, he'll kind of pop a squat and breathe heavily, and then he'll pull out one of his hands and he'll rip across his chest, and the blood will flow, and he's gonna use Song of Rage.
Okay. Fantastic.
So if I succeed, you guys will all gain a point of rage, or 2 points if I get a crit.
Awesome. That is a success.
I can re-roll. I need one more.
Okay. 2 successes.
How do you? Can you click on the dice on here?
Right click on the die, and it'll
Right-click.
come up a menu
Yeah,
that
right-click.
says
Willpower reroll.
Willpower reroll.
Yep.
I think you have to mark all the ones you want to do.
Reroll. Yep.
Oh, I
At the same
see.
time.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Success. So everybody gets a point of rage.
Yay.
Okay.
Even when unconscious?
It says everyone that can hear. I believe.
You can't hear it.
I can't hear.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
It's pretty loud.
Within earshot.
You rip Lou apart as you sing.
Oh crap!
Yeah, I'm just inciting the pipe, the pack, and then he's gonna, I guess for now, stay there. He might do something next turn, but he's trying to keep Lou out of danger.
All right. So, all right. I think so. Then I have a couple things to do. So then I'll say first things first. Let's see who gets that other shot. I have 3 choices now: Eustace, Selena, and Jacques. It's going to be Eustace. So this is going to be. So Eustace, you throw the body down, in like the headless body of this, and you can yell out some kind of roar or whatever it might be. As you do so, as you're kind of rear back, you feel a burning in your chest as you take like we'll say like maybe right above your chest, like right in the nape of your neck, separate from where the grenade went off. As a large hole begins to form, and you're going to take 3 aggravated damage.
Ooh.
Then,
And this is from the same source we can't identify.
Same sources. Basically, it's what happened to you, Jacques.
Selena saw where it's coming from.
None of you have seen where it's coming from. Eustace, do you have any kind of heightened senses in your gifts or anything like that? Anything it would give you? Okay.
If this was somebody that was in close combat, I would have something I could do, but I'm assuming it's not. I'm assuming it's somebody who's sniping at a place I can't see. But if they were nearby, I would use the porcupine's reprisal. But they're not.
It's not. That this case is not. The good news is just that the next guy who goes on the passenger side, he's got 2 shots. He's got 2 options between Eustace and Selena, and it will also be Eustace. So once this goes off, you will be in close enough range to be able to use Porcupine's reprisal against him.
Thank you.
So you're welcome, buddy. Let's see. Where'd he go? Okay. So then I'm actually rolling tonight. Normally I just do like the difficulty stuff. And so this is the worst roll of the night as I roll 1. It's 1 success.
Hey.
So that'll still be a superficial point of damage to you. So if you want to use Porcupine's Surprise, you can go ahead now.
I do.
All right.
So I need to do a rage check to do that. So maybe? No, I don't. But still.
Damn.
So I now have 3 glory.
Okay.
So it's only superficial, but it's still 3 superficial.
And then I think the last one I'll target Jacques just to spread it a little bit here as the shadow. So the three of you suddenly stop hearing whatever music. And I'll say this, that once you guys got up close, you realized it wasn't actually coming from the radio, but maybe more towards the shadow in the back of the SUV. And I'll say, Jacques, the window next to you sort of breaks open, and that is when someone will shoot at you as well. So me...
Rude and churlish.
Very rude.
All right, this is a 4, 6, 6 plus 2, that's 6. Okay, so this is going to be 6 minus the 3. So this is going to be 3 points of aggravated. As more silver bullets come raining out from the back of this SUV. The song has stopped. There are 2 people inside the SUV, and then there is this third person in the front who is thrown back in, who pulls the grenade and tries to throw it, but then basically dies, and it just falls into the like the front underneath the dashboard, and it's gonna explode. And so this whole SUV is gonna erupt. So I need all 3 of you to go ahead and make an athletics test, let's say, to try and we'll say athletics. I mean, I guess it's up to you. If you want to say you try to dive out of the way, athletics dex. If you want to say you just sort of take it, like you just try to endure it with your just pure will and toughness, go ahead and roll, we'll say stamina. So it's, I'll give you a pick.
And who else rolling this?
Eustace, Selena, and Jacques, the 3 of you that were adjacent to the SUV when the grenade goes off inside of it. And then,
how many successes are ideal? So I know if I should spend.
You're going to need 4 to basically
and is this
avoid
a
taking
physical
damage.
check? Like what
This is a physical
Krynos?
check.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a physical check. You can take your Krynos bonus.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. All of you either dodge out of the way, or you just turn. And
I just pick up the body of the dude I just killed.
He just holds it up his shield as it will go off, and the entire SUV will go up. It doesn't like explode in this like Miami Vice like explosion, but it erupts. And let me see. Let's see if they survive the explosion. The guy in the front certainly doesn't. Guy in the middle row, he does. The one with the shotgun that's been firing at you, Selena. And then the one on the back also survives. So there's 2 people still kind of moving around. They're not in good shape, but they're moving about as the SUV briefly kind of goes up and then comes back down. But you still see there's movement inside in the back 2 rows of the vehicle. So at the top of the round then, Duke, you've slashed your chest. Lou is safe. You can see that the SUV that these were in just exploded. Tide is turning, but people do seem to be hurt. Selena, you need to do a willpower, but Eustace and Jacques are okay. So Selena,
Eustace did kill.
I'm sorry.
That was totally,
He was working so
fine.
hard to not have
I
to
would
do
rather
willpower.
not have taken attacks from him for another round. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just take the willpower.
Okay. So that is what's going on. So what is everyone doing?
Being passed out.
Good job.
Jacques
Lee.
is going to dive into the back of this SUV and tear this guy to pieces.
Absolutely. There's essentially 2. There's one in like a back seat, and then there's one in the back. So
He's going for the one in the back. Guy who just
all
shot
right,
him.
so you just leap through. The SUV is dented from the rooftop. It's exploded out the side. You just reach in, like half your body, your torso goes into the back, and you start tearing around. And it just looks like a fairly slender-looking guy. They got him decked out, and he doesn't look like this big tough. He's just this is whoever it was singing or shouting. That was them. So go ahead and roll your attack. And let me see
since I'm at over half my health damage, my patron's gift comes in, so I get to roll an extra die on top of everything.
Awesome. Well, This guy is most certainly
that
not
hasn't
long for
come
this world.
into play before,
kidding.
has it?
No. At the end of this, I'm going to do some rage checks to regenerate too.
Everybody
we'll see how this goes first.
From now on, is going to be carrying silver bullets that you guys. Everybody. This is the only way to travel.
10 successes.
That'll do. Go ahead and describe what you do to this guy in the back seat.
So yeah, what he does is his claws reach through the window and he grabs him and he goes up under his rib cage with his left claw and he grabs his pelvic bone with the right claw. He tears him in half and pulls both halves of his body out and throws it behind him.
Just flops down in the middle of the street, middle of the highway. You guys are literally on an interstate highway. It's a 2-lane highway, but it's a highway. There's body parts everywhere. Okay. So then Eustace and Selena, both of you are right next to this. What are the two of you doing? There's one more still moving around in the back seat of this SUV.
Go ahead, Eustace.
Well, it depends. Do you want to fish him off? I hadn't, or do you? I can finish him off if you get something else.
Whoever goes second, if they don't kill if he doesn't die right off the bat, the second one will have an easier time. He'll probably die on the first one though. He was just inside of a car in which a grenade went off, so he's not in great shape right now.
I could try to attack him if you got something else you want to do.
Go for it.
All right. We'll see how this goes. So I've got the +4. So sorry, not that. That. Yuck. This is going to be
willpower. Re-roll any of that?
No, because as soon as you fill up your willpower, even if it's superficial, that's bad, right? Or if it's only
I think you become. There's a word for it. Is it incapacitated? It's impaired. So when you fill when you fill your health or willpower tracker, and basically it just means you lose dice from relevant pools. So,
anything that has to do with where is it?
It's not going to be that big a deal, unless I shoot you with this sniper guy. Then it could be a big deal.
When a pair of characters continue to take damage to their filled character. Mental pools. Okay, so it'll affect my mental.
It'll
stuff.
it'll be you're fine.
Okay. Yes.
Go for it.
I will spend the willpower. Willpower reroll.
Okay.
Gosh darn it.
All that. I will tell you that is actually not enough to kill him, unfortunately. Just 2 successes. It's not enough to kill him, as his armor still is actually going to apply. So he is still alive, as Selena, will say, drag him partially out, and you start ripping through him, as you guys have really done a number on this SUV. And so I don't know if more than one Krynos form werewolf can fit inside. That's fair. But Eustace, you want to finish him off?
Well, if not more than one of us can fit in, and honestly, he assumed he would be getting killed off. I think where Eustace's head was, amidst the Krynos form and the rage, he's still somewhat level-headed. And no, he doesn't know exactly where the shot came from, but Hart Wardens are really good at survival, and he knows he just got shot. And he's maybe he can maybe look at where the blood spray went. It's like, I got shot, the blood sprayed that way. Nothing. No attempt to do that.
I'm sorry, it's a hard no on this one. There's a very specific thing that needs to be triggered to track it. So I hear what you're saying. There are 2 ways in which you would be able to determine it, and that does not apply in this case.
That's fair. Sorry. He doesn't know, but that's that's the mindset he would have. He tries to look where the blood sprayer is.
I would say this, that without even doing a roll, you would know that at the very simplest thing you would know is that it is not coming from the direction where Duke and Lou are.
Yeah.
So, which means it's not coming from the south, from the southern track of highway. It's either coming from north, east, or west, but it's not from the south. That's probably the only thing you can surely eliminate.
All right. Well, I can, the howling or guttering or whatever way that we communicate with each other, I'll share that so we can at least know the direction that it's not coming from, because we do have things that can be used for cover. and then take that into account and position myself accordingly, because I don't want to get shot by more of that. And I don't think I can probably do an attack on top of that.
Okay. So you position yourself. The guy inside then somehow survives for one more round. So that means if that's the case, he is going to limply reach around, look for... He pulls out a grenade, kind of sets it, and he just holds it up. Bad dogs! And he just drops it. So we'll say, I think this will probably hit Selena and Jacques. Eustace, you said you're moving around to take cover, so I'm going to say that you're probably okay with it then. Jacques and Selena are still...
I'm sorry.
We're attacking. So that is going to be 4 more points of damage, guys. As actually, there is the car. I'll say we'll do the same thing I did before. As there is kind of car between you and him. The doors kind of occasionally flapping closed. You can probably quickly duck behind it. So I'll say take 1 point, as we'll kind of carry over the 3 points armor for just being behind a car. So take 1 more point out of aggregated damage as part of the explosion that obliterates the last remaining survivor inside of this vehicle. The silver laced explosive rains out, gets on some of Selena, gets on Jacques as you feel the burn as you stumble away.
So how much does Selena take being inside the vehicle?
I'm going to say, I think you guys, I'm going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt that if you see a guy slowly bring up his arm, bring the other arm up, get it ready, cock it, that you guys could at least, step back and kind of take cover. So I'll say there's enough debris from it. So I'll say you could take one ag. But then I'm going to say the guys, the firing is going to go off. Oh, this is trickier. All right, let's see who gets it. All right, Jacques, sorry, man. You are sort of half in, half out of the vehicle, trying to take cover from the explosions. You kind of stumble away from the explosion a little bit. Your coat is covered in this silver. You feel as another one of these bullets hits you from the darkness. Let's see how I do with the roll. Let's see, +4, -1. That's minimum damage, actually. 4 points of damage. I'm sorry, 3 points of damage. Nope, I was right the first time. 4 points of damage.
Okay. Jacques is almost dead.
As you now have 2 very large bullet holes in your chest from a distant foe that you have been unable to locate. So, new round. All of the people, with the exception of the shotgun guy that Duke stared down, who is just kind of standing there, no longer getting whatever communication within his ear. It's just sort of standing there, kind of staring in the distance to where Duke and Lou is. Does that just last for a full scene, Duke? Okay, so he's still in this mesmerized state. Eustace, Selena, and Jacques, all of you have taken some damage. His SUV is now kind of on fire. Eustace, you've taken cover. There are shots coming from somewhere in the darkness. What do you guys want to do? Your vehicle, one of your vehicles is turned over. The other one has its rear passenger side. The El Camino is like the rear passenger side wheel bed is just destroyed. The Bronco is really just rolled over. There are cop cars nearby. The SUV is not salvageable either. So those are your options. And then there's just darkness from wherever this shot is coming from. What would you guys like to do?
Well, Jacques or Quiet Claw would, at this point, having no idea where the shot is coming from, he would just growl out, try to quickly regenerate a little bit of damage again, okay. Then shift into Hispo and run. He growls out for everybody to run.
Okay. Where do you want to run?
Away from the direction. the direction that Eustace said we should be heading to.
Yeah,
So
we
you're
know
just gonna
direction
run
he's not
south.
shooting from.
Yeah, you're just going to run south. Okay, yeah.
Drop into Hispo and run south as fast as freaking possible.
Yeah. And like there are within 15, 20 feet of the fight, there's that cop car that kind of came up and when Duke first came tumbling down on the Bronco. So that's nearby. Sirens are still kind of going off. No other traffic has come. There is the detour, so you might have been able to avoid any of that. There have been maybe one or two cars coming southbound, but that's like through a median on the other side. So whether or not anyone actually looked, who knows? It's also middle of the night. So, okay. So Jacques, you turn into Hispo, and then you just sort of start running southward. What about
staying low, being
Sure. Eustace and Selena.
So everybody's still conscious, other than Lou is out, right?
Lou is the only one that got knocked out by the first grenade.
Okay. So normally I would want to go Hispo, but I think instead I'll go Glabro, so I actually have like functional arms. And just try and pick up Lou and start running.
Okay, so Eustace, you run past, you go to where Duke is kind of like crouched down next to her. You pick her up, and you follow Jacques at a slightly slower pace, but you're still following as the two of you are now running south down the highway. Maybe you putting some of the cars between yourself and the rest of the highway going north. Selena?
I feel like Selena might go into Lupus form because Lupus form still gets silver immunity.
Okay.
So still able to
Smart.
run because it's still a wolf form, but that silver hurt. So
Sure.
I think that would be the switch for Selena.
Okay. So you drop into Lupus and you start to run, following Eustace, Jacques, Eustace carrying Lou, and then Duke. What about you?
I think Duke will, as he's running south, he's going to go to the guy who's affected with stare down, and he's going to grab his grenade and throw it on his Bronco and run.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Yeah, all of that I think can happen. And as you run, you're probably the furthest behind then because you did a whole thing. The whole thing, your Bronco explodes. There's now two vehicles in the middle of the highway that are essentially on fire. The El Camino, not on fire but messed up. There's the police vehicle as well. All of this is just in the middle of this highway, just before an underpass, at the bottom of this rocky embankment where there's like an exit road going out. As you guys start to run away, I'm gonna get, I think, one more shot off, and I think it's probably going to be Duke, as Duke is the one lingering. I am going to increase the difficulty because there's now a lot of stuff that they're firing through with the extra. So one more shot, and then we'll call this. Let's see. Okay. Duke, as you are running, you throw the grenade. You see your thing explode. You feel your arm suddenly burn as you see there is like this section. There's a little cut in it, and you can just feel that sort of instinct that even in your form, like you kind of know when it's silver. You've seen the bullets, etc. And you watch out in front of you as like a hole opens up in like the door of the cop car. The shot missed, but you kind of know that they're shooting at you, and you manage to sneak around it, and you guys can now run off into the distance to the south. So I'll say at this point you have outranged the shot as you guys continue to run south. Eventually, and it's not going to be very long, it's going to be maybe about 100 yards before you reach where the detour cones are. In the distance, you see maybe a mile down the road headlights. You don't see anyone there at the detour getting off right now, but in the distance, maybe a mile off, you see headlights coming up towards you. The ramp goes off, You know you're not in like a city area. You know you're about a half an hour south of where Josiah's place is apparently. What do you guys want to do? What's the plan?
So we stay in Wolf Form and run to Josiah's.
Yeah, like I was thinking a very, circuitous
route, yeah.
way to get there. If there is anywhere that we can stop for a rest, ways away, I wouldn't mind trying to do Mother's Touch on.
You are wolves. There's no reason. There's desert, rocky desert all around.
Head off into the desert.
You could always just find a place and camp out for the night. If that's the desire.
Do you have superficial physical damage, Lou, or is all of your damage aggravated?
All of mine is sorry, you're right. So I had 6 aggravated and I took 4 superficial, so that would have been 10, right? Which knocks me out.
Yeah.
So technically 4 superficial.
Okay. Are we gonna camp first before we start rolling stuff? Are you kind of camping out, finding some random place as well? Like it's not hard. It's not like it's hard for you guys to do. Eustace, you have good survival. You can probably find like a small nook in some of these like desert ravines off to the east of the highway. You could easily do it. I just want to know before we start rolling stuff.
Yeah, we'd find a place to hold up, and then those of us who are still mostly on our feet might set up kind of a picket around so that Selena doesn't get interrupted while she's working.
Okay. And we'll say that's exactly what happens. You guys get off the road. You find a nook in one of these ravines. You set up a little kind of a watch situation where those of you who can are keeping an eye out. And Selena, you try to get into Mother's Touch. And so you can go ahead and do the roll now if you want.
Okay. Let me read that. So I got 5 successes. If the number of successes exceeds the subject's current raise, a single level of aggravated damage can be healed in place of a superficial one. So because you were completely down, you would be back up with one
free slot?
Yeah.
1 less aggro or 1 less superficial? Sorry, that's aggro, right?
You wouldn't have gone down if it was just superficial. Like to go down, you have to have filled everything up to aggravated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just up with 1 empty and the rest aggravated.
Gotcha.
You're back.
Okay.
I live again.
Okay.
Oh,
could have killed Lou there with an accidental misfire of a silver. Why she was unconscious? If she would have taken silver while incapacitated, she actually would have died. Okay.
Well, luckily, someone pulled me out a window, then opened a car door, and then pulled me out the car door
and slammed you
instead.
inside
Luckily,
the door a few times.
all the banging of your head is only superficial. That's fine.
Why do I have all these extra bruises? I don't understand how I could have hurt. Is this elbow here? Doesn't make sense.
We just dragged you on the floor.
Of course you did.
That was they came prepared. They knew what our weaknesses are. They knew.
Jacques is growling and yipping and basically intimating that if we had all embraced our wolf side and been running through the desert instead of driving in cars, we would have never been caught flat-footed.
Well, if we would have just drove the road, we also probably would have never encountered this.
I feel like they still would have gotten us.
They were
That's debatable. I mean,
I don't know that it's debatable. I feel like it was a trap regardless, and I was trying to circumvent the trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The shoulda, coulda, wouldas are a dangerous trap. It's important that we learn from it, sure, but it is what it is. We all survived, and we'll move forward.
Okay, well, I'm just going to switch over to the Galabro for a little bit and see if I can't heal myself some.
I fit like 3 fingers in this bullet hole. What caliber was that?
That was silver for sure. That was that.
So weird. Taking a nap sounds good.
All right. So is that what you guys want to do? Rest out for the rest of the night? Wait till sunrise or something like that? Okay. We'll say then that
healed 1 point.
Okay, fair enough. We'll say that's exactly what happens. You're able to wait out a handful of hours before the sun starts coming up. It is it's very relatively uneventful night. After once you guys get settled, no real issues. Nothing ever really seems to come close. You guys are well off the highway, and decently hidden. And there's no road or anything that comes down here. You're literally just off road. And it doesn't look as though anything has come looking for you. And if it has, it didn't find you. As the sun comes up, some of you have regened a little bit. You have no car.
That's the way it should be.
The poor El Camino. So, what's the plan now?
Well, Duke, can you?
Okay, I have an idea before we go meet this dude. Okay. So I was reading some of my old books and I came across this rite, and we could try it before we go meet the old man, because maybe
This is your one-sided rival fellow, right?
No, he's just old. Don't worry about it. I don't even know the guy. He just has a bunch of tweens around him. It's weird. All right. Anyways. And they hang out at Whataburger. I mean, come on.
Yes, so he's a one-sided rival guy. Got it.
Yeah, I'm sure he feels the same about me. I bet. Anyways, I was reading this new rite, and maybe it might work with your spirit stuff inside you. And maybe if it works, then we don't have to go see the old man. If you guys want to try it. But I know we're beat up, so I don't want to pressure anybody.
Well, wait, we drove like 2/3 of the way there, and now you're saying that we didn't have to drive here at all?
Okay, sometimes when you would know, right? We're getting older. Sometimes you just forget things, you know?
I mean, we almost died, so maybe it's kind of an important thing to remember that you can do something.
Well, maybe like having my life threatened, it reminded me.
Oh, this is true. Yeah,
it's better that they tracked us and trapped us away from the sept anyway.
Yeah. See?
Well, I wouldn't mind going back if we're going to be isolated. So yes, the faster thing would be better.
I mean, at this point, I kind of just want to see the dude and the tweens. I mean, we came this far and we've suffered so much. I feel like I've got to have the payoff of actually like seeing the dude.
But maybe we could remove the stuff inside you, and that would be a payoff.
Yes, Duke. Let's
Why not both?
Well, I really don't know if I want to meet this guy. I met his cousin, and she was something else.
I feel like you are making a lot of enemies in the area.
I don't think so.
Let's go. We chat with him. We see what he can do. We figure out. I mean, it's always good to make connections. It's always good, especially when we're under attack like this, even just to say how close to their back door those people were.
But if Duke can cleanse us, we would be better to be at our best in case the hunters return.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I fully support Duke, you doing what you do. But if you're saying these people kind of have some sort of insight into whatever that darkness was, well, there's no reason we can't take you up on your offer and then not also see if they don't have some further wisdom to give our way.
Yeah, we'll let bygones be bygones, right?
Was there only is bygones on one side? Like you said, this dude doesn't even know you?
No, he does. Everybody knows me. Anyways, all right, let's try this right. Who wants to be the first guinea pig?
Sure. Oh yeah,
rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
It's what you for. I don't need to do it, so you guys are playing together.
So you can do
odd
it.
One out.
Yeah. So basically, I think you can do it all at once, right? I'm pretty sure.
It says purifies a person, place, or object, purging any spiritual possession, and then it talks about Bane at the end of it. But
okay. Anyone who's participating in this rite, including the rite master, has to have a point of rage. So make sure everyone's there.
Mm-hmm.
Do we lose rage from sleeping, or are we still?
No, I think you guys are suitably pissed off. Don't worry.
Also, howl at the moon now that I have the opportunity to be awake.
Yay.
When the sun's
Morning
out.
time. There's no moon.
Yeah, wait
There's
till
no
night.
At some point in time in the evening, I would have done
Somewhere the
the
moon's up. Okay.
What if
get it.
she's really enraged that she missed the moon?
Her background on her phone is the moon, so she just looks.
same. Yeah, I got this is live feed of the moon.
I would love the idea of like Jacques just rolling his eyes as she howls at a digital moon.
It's the same thing. No, it's
Jacques
a
would be-
live stream of the moon where it is in the world.
He'd be
Oh, yeah,
this
it's a
close
live
to
stream from
biting
another
her
part of the
hand off
planet.
and swallowing that phone.
Okay, so-
I'll take a cigarette and start smoking. No, it's a live stream of the moon. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so Duke, you are performing it. Who is going to be the target? The guinea pig. Okay,
I'll
so
do it
Jacques.
first.
Jacques, you don't know the right, so you're going to contribute a rage die to this roll. So Duke, you're going to have an extra rage die. I think that's about it. So go ahead and roll your normal test, whatever it is it calls for. It's right of abjuration, right?
Yes.
And then add an extra rage die to your roll because of Jacques.
Okay, I might just auto roll it. I don't know if I'll let me do that, but
Okay.
or let me try and do.
Often right clicking sometimes gives you some extra options, but I'm not sure. I haven't tested that.
Nah, it's honor plus occult.
All right.
Oh my gosh, this
So-
character sheet. All right, whatever.
So
I'm just
the-
gonna roll.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was messing with that, I just picked a stat that was equal to what
Okay, then you roll another dice.
Mm-hmm. Extra rage. Okay.
Okay, so it goes off if the difficulty is 3, which it says for a hostile bane inside a person
Mhm,
or inside
mhm.
something.
Okay. So, Duke, what does the ritual look like? Because the rituals, but basically take a scene. Scene can last, a couple minutes, can last a day, whatever. We'll say it takes maybe like half an hour or something like that, right? So, what would it look like when you're trying to cleanse somebody of a possessed spirit?
Yeah, I think Duke, there's some sort of like sigil component to it. So like in the desert sand, we're making markings, we're kind of doing some sort of symbols. But I think what it bases off of is Duke will kind of almost try to push his blood, his pure blood, into the pure or the impure blood to try and cleanse it out.
Okay. So as you kind of draw your symbols, as you invoke your own blood, as you reach out to see whether whatever possessing spirit inside Jacques will vacate, you realize there is no response. And there is no spirit within Jacques. You are confident that you did the right correctly, that you followed all the proper steps. You're confident in all of this. It's just whenever you've used this before or read about it before or anything like that, there's usually some kind of even to a hostile spirit, there would be a reaction. And so I would say the conclusion you would draw, Duke, is that he is not possessed. So this rite specifically hits people who are possessed by spirits or objects or places possessed by spirits. And whatever it was that's inside of him, whatever kind of taint or corruption or whatever it might be, it is not an actual spirit that seems to be possessing him.
So what do you guys think about seeing the old guy? Because
I feel like this is okay. Do you want to say that it didn't work or what's happening?
So like I read that you're supposed to like feel something, like as the person doing it, the Rite Master, you feel the spirit, and there was no feeling. I felt nothing. Like it was just empty. And I think he's just dripping with my blood now.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
And no one's half the battle.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we tried.
Yeah.
That works.
Those are words we can say.
Mhm, mhm.
All right.
Okay. Well,
Off we go.
then let's keep going. Just while we're going, and she'll like puff out a little bit of her cigarette, and she's going to activate Spider's song for the rest of the scene, and just try to listen in to hear if anybody is coming towards them in
Okay.
terms of radio signals and communication.
Lou, could you roll a
Oh no.
D10 for me and say high or low before you do it?
Oh no.
It's just a luck roll. So like say high or low, and then just roll a d10.
Okay, sure. I will go high, and I will roll a d10.
Okay. All right.
I was going to save the can.
I will say that you do, in fact, still. I'm not sure whether this is how you tap into your spider song, but you do still actually have your cell phone on you. You did not, in fact, leave it inside the El Camino when it exploded.
Well, of course, I have my Dougie backpack with all the important things in it.
That's true. You do, in fact,
I always
have
wear
that.
that.
And maybe Duke was
tracking
considerate
us through
enough
the
to
phone.
grab it when he dropped
Yeah,
it
like
off.
half the stuff fell out, and he kind of stared at it for a second, and then he looked at
She
her
wants this.
unconscious, and then stared at it, and he was like, "I guess."
So yeah, she plugs like a pair of really old headphones into her phone and just kind of like lifts it up to hear what she can hear.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and
Glabros
roll resolve. So resolve plus wisdom takes cost of willpower.
Yes, I marked off the willpower.
Okay.
Let me. Oh, there's no way. Oh, it should be this button. Yes.
Okay, so you're basically trying to listen into conversations. Is sort of what you're kind of trying to do right now.
Yeah, like I imagine I can tune out some of the chatter, some of the music radio stations, some of the terrible country. Sorry. And then listen in for just like military chatter or chatter from the law firm security company.
All right, so with 3 successes, that's somewhere between it looks like the 2 tiers of successes, like single and 5. So you're kind of in between. So I'll say you, as you're listening in, you hear like this skittering as like somewhere like through the gauntlet, somewhere on the other side, somewhere the various like the weaver spirits are kind of beginning to re-stitch some of those threads to help connect to your location, and so that you can kind of hear this. And what you're hearing as you tune out, like you're kind of dismiss, maybe you hear them, but you know to dismiss them in your head, the various radio stations, etc. But you do get chatter that something violent happened. And it seems to be that 2 local cops were gunned down by a group of criminals that were trying to escape from what they presume is Phoenix, as they're trying to escape, etc. They're on foot. They are armed and dangerous. And you're getting the general sense that there's not like there's very small scattered towns and ranches. There's not like a very big population center near you, but you're getting the sense that the roads are like there's definitely some increased tension, and people are aware in the area, and there's various checkpoints and things on certain roads and stuff as they're looking for it. So the story does seem to be about 2 local cops killed by that, and that's all that's referenced. There's not a reference to any other bodies, just the 2 cops.
Okay, so there is chatter. They're looking for the people that are walking. So we probably want to go in wolf form, and we don't want to be seen walking into a town. We want to maybe walk into a diner, but not necessarily down the main road walking into a town, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I will keep listening while we travel, but I don't think there's anybody close to us right now. Should be fine to move.
All right, well, we'll go to their stomping grounds, the Whataburger.
Oh, I also text Lucas to make sure that everything is okay.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
How frequently, how quickly does Lucas tend to respond? Is he one of those teens that just doesn't respond ever, or is he one of those teens that actually does respond?
He has me as a parent, thus he is quite tech savvy and probably on the internet too much.
Okay.
Yes, he responds quickly.
So he responds. Okay. All right. What is it you say in the text?
Hey, Lucas, our car has exploded, so we are walking right now. Don't worry about any police reports. It's all bullshit, so be careful. How are the bodies?
Okay. A couple minutes go by. You do get a text back.
This is the FBI.
Okay, Mom. Are you okay? Where are you headed? Do you want me to come get you? Just tell me where you are. The bodies are fine.
Shit. Okay, that's not like him. Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh? You left your son with these zombie bodies. You could no one made you do this. Nobody.
You have a one-sided argument with an old elderly werewolf that does not even know that you exist.
I'm not trying to kill him.
Look, this is not the way any child, nevertheless my child, would speak. So someone has kidnapped him or something. I probably shouldn't have said how are the bodies.
Or the explosion, or the
or that we didn't do anything. You really just kind of
reports.
What do you guys think about just going to a different state? Because I mean, we burned this one.
New Mexico is really nice.
I think I have to go pick up my son.
We just go back to West Virginia. It's really beautiful there, you know.
Don't worry, Kipser.
Mother.
No, you don't.
No.
Don't do that.
He's got plenty of company. Don't worry.
Problem for... I'm sorry.
Another day. That's a side quest, unfortunately.
I don't think that is quite fair.
You did this.
No, you're right. You're right. It's not fair.
He's a responsible 14-year-old.
Yes.
According to you?
Yes. He is far better at following the rules of the law already than I am.
And now he's kidnapped.
He's a human, so we need to concern ourselves about Garou.
He is of my bloodline, so you don't know that for sure.
Right,
we don't know yet, but what we do know right now is that we are very far away from where he is.
Mm-hmm.
And we can be of danger to him if we don't try to get all of this mess out of us.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, well, all right. Let's go talk to the rival man.
And I see the giant W in the distance. We're close.
All right.
Oh my god.
So I am actually going to need Lou to make a Harano test.
Oh shit!
In this situation.
Okay.
So a Harano test is a dice pool equal to the amount of filled boxes on both the Harano and Hogloss trackers. The test is always made at a minimum of 1 die. So if you don't have anything, you're still going to use 1. Do not use rage for this test.
Okay.
How much does Lou love her son? On a
Wait,
scale of 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
1 being 1 being 5
it seems
being
like
a lot.
1.
What would you
I
say,
am
Lou,
debating abandoning the group and this weird quest to find the rival old man to just let them do their thing and go back.
Because the difficulty is usually 1, but the storyteller can decide that severe setbacks or other crises warrant a higher difficulty.
I feel like
a 2. This is probably a 2. He is a teen, so we shouldn't go too crazy with this.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels at least a 3.
And he texted. I mean, he's totally fine.
He did text. He seems fine. He even used proper grammar.
No, that's not his texting. That's
capitalization,
punctuation.
That's not teen texting.
Love you, Mom. But it's spelled all bullshit. Out completely.
A comma, semicolon. It was really good.
Yeah, that's bull.
Perfect punctuation.
You have capitalization.
Mom, I went grocery shopping and I bought all sorts of things. I will cook dinner.
Organic, all healthy.
I don't actually know how to do this on the sheet, though.
I can just roll the 2d10s, right? Like that.
So do you have anything in Hoglosk or Harano already?
No.
So it'd be 1d10. So I actually don't. You actually couldn't even pass it.
You can click on the Harano and it'll pull up a pop-up and you can put how many dice, how many modifiers you need in there.
Yeah.
So.
I think this. Okay, so I will say that I think the difficulty, it's fair to set it at 2 since it is your son that this is happening to. Yeah. So since you don't actually have anything, you would only be rolling a single die. So there's no actual way for you to pass it. So you're going to end up taking. So go ahead and tick now. So we're going to call this a fail. Go ahead and tick a point of Harano. as you have one of this. This is a setback, we'll say.
Okay. Well, I'm also going to text Riley. Lucas has been kidnapped. I'm very open to sharing everything with the people I know. You know what? Yeah, I will just say, send Riley. Can you check on Lucas?
Okay. How frequently does Riley respond to you?
Wait, do you give Riley the address of where Lucas is? So now that Riley
Duke's
goes over there
secret
too?
hideout?
He should be around this area, but be careful and don't actually enter the building because I think they might be looked
Why
at.
are you telling everyone about everything?
Duke has an obscure...
You don't understand, Tag.
He has an obscured safe house that is not even remotely obscured anymore.
It's already
Lock-up security has literally moved in and they have a new office in there while they're waiting for us.
Yeah, satellite office.
Look, what I'm not doing, which is I'm also very tempted to do, is call my police contact.
Would you like to do that?
Yes,
I'll say this.
I'm not
I'll say
going to.
this. Riley does thereafter text you back, and he's like, oh "My gosh, what happened? Is he okay? I'll go over and I'll check right now." And that's what. Do you actually send an address for Duke, like where Duke's hideout is, where he would be, like directions on how to get to the obscure?
No, that's a weird turn of phrase. I don't like that turn of phrase. No.
Okay. All right. So he just says, "I'll go check on him right now."
Okay.
Okay.
So where's he going to check on him? If
I just go to my apartment and make sure he's there.
isn't the apartment like forever away from my hideout?
Yes. Yeah.
So how does
Who has a
someone make
plan
it?
of some sort that we don't know?
Okay, that sounds like a tomorrow problem.
You got upset with me for saying everything.
I
I'm
saved
being
your life.
discreet.
Okay, all right, let's keep going.
Fine. So I'll use some more of my rage to try to heal myself a little bit more as we walk. In
Okay.
keeping my Harano for.
Jacques is padding kind of away from the group. And he's kind of taking kind of a wide circuits around because he's trying to make sure we're not actually being tailed by a drone or by this sniper.
I am technically still listening as well for this scene.
Okay. So the scene will probably, I'll say the scene for your spider song will last between the time you leave your little nook in the ravine until the time you actually get back to some semblance of civilization. So a road or street or something like that. So Jacques, why don't you give an awareness test? Wits will probably be the most useful thing here. Is anyone else doing this? Is anyone else doing anything as you travel, as you leave the hiding place? Eustace or Selena or Duke?
Yeah. I mean, I might help out in a similar path, like trying to use survival to find good routes to take that might keep us.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll a survival test.
Yeah, and Selena's possibly trying to heal herself up a little bit.
4 successes
Some
in
of the
total.
aggravated.
Okay. Are you like regeneration, Selena? Is that what you're
Yeah,
doing? Passive
yeah,
regeneration. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's nothing that takes anything extra. Okay.
Duke is gonna send a bad text to Aldora saying, "Our night sucked. How was yours?"
So how often would you say that Adora responds to your text?
We're both
How
old,
quickly?
so it's like
Sure.
within an hour, a couple hours or so. It's not.
So old, it would be like 12 hours.
Okay. All right. So it won't be immediate. Okay.
Check when you wake up, check when you go to bed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go through this. Selena, you're doing your rolls for your heals. Go ahead and take care of that on your own. Jacques, how many did you say for successes? And then Eustace, how many did you get for survival?
4.
Okay. So here's what I'll say is like to sort of narrow this all at once. As Duke, you're texting. Selena, you're kind of just patching yourself up as best you can, picking out little flakes of silver here and there. Lou, you're still listening in as best you can, getting the connections from the various spiders that you can until eventually like the connection breaks. The whole time, all of it's been it's been consistent. Like you've gotten the same thing over and over again. It's every now and then maybe you catch the name of a road where there's like a checkpoint at this, or maybe you catch an extra detail about subjects driving an El Camino in a Ford Bronco, stuff like that. That seems to just reinforce that there's definitely the spin towards you guys being the ones who murdered these local cops on the highway. The good news is that you guys are in an area where there's just not a huge population center. So when you get near roads, you're not seeing like strip malls or anything like that. You're just seeing a lot of just empty highway. In the distance, you can see what, looks like just regular ranch homes in the middle of nowhere, people who just don't want to be anywhere. There's a lot of, rockiness in this direction in forested areas. Like the further north you get, there's more elevation and there's more forest. And so you're getting some cover. And so Jacques and Eustace has helped you realize you guys are able to sort of navigate this path while staying away from the road. Every now and then you'll see in the distance, like a truck will start pouring down the highway in some ways, and you just kind of disappear back into the tree line again. Jacques, with 4 successes, you are confident that you are not being followed either on foot or by any kind of drone. You don't see anything kind of following you. Maybe once or twice you let the group go ahead, and then you kind of cycle back to sort of see if any of them are kind of giving up a trail. Nothing there. And then maybe you start playing around within the trees to see if you can kind of suss out a flying nothing. So there's nothing that you would be able to physically. So you're confident that if there's anything that's tracking you, it's sure as hell nothing that you could physically see. So you feel pretty good about it, unless they have some satellite or whatever, And Eustace, I would say with your survival, you can keep heading north relatively parallel to the highway. You're doing a good enough job keeping this away. And if you guys wanted to just stay off the road and just try to, lupus it all the way up, you probably could do that if that's a desire.
Yeah. Quiet Call would bark. He'd be barking out, asking if someone within the pack can make sure that we're not being tracked through the Umbra. Because he lets everybody know that we're not being tracked physically, but he's afraid that we might be being tracked spiritually. He does not have the skills.
We roll a cult, or would that be like an actual gift or something?
Lou has a gift where she can actually see spirits and things.
I can run them both. The spider song and the penumbra sense. I am currently in Glabro, so I'm allowed to do that. Maybe 2 or just 1 at a time.
I would say at this point, your spider song is dropped off. And so if you wanted to do it, you'd have to do another check, which means another willpower. So that scene is probably passed, but you can do the other one now if you like.
All right, then I will use another willpower and do an intelligence wisdom check.
Sounds great. Okay. All right, so you become attuned to both the physical realm and the Umbra at once, so you can perceive both worlds simultaneously without penalty. Difficulty of the local gauntlet would be only, at this point, would only actually be a 2, since you're traveling through this sort of forested area. You most certainly see spirits, but you're seeing...
Oh, hello.
Jagglings, gafflings, you're seeing things that are sort of embodying specific locations, stuff that really nothing that alarms you in any particular way. Some of them are kind of going about a very specific task, what seems to be kind of pruning certain sections of this small forest that you're passing through. Others you can tell, like as you pass by a creek or a stream, or kind of focused instead to there, you don't get the sense that any of them care at all about your presence. Like they're not adverse to it. They're not interested in it. They're just kind of aloof and going about their business. And you look up and you can see periodically the vague signs of like your spiders kind of sort of threading around here and there, but in a healthy way, not the way that you saw in the last arc of the story.
Better.
Yeah. And I think you would be confident that you don't think you're being tracked in the spirit world either.
Jacques, it doesn't look like there's much going on unusual in here. Is as expected.
Good.
My spiders are healthy.
I expect all of you are tied to physical locations, though. The bar, your home locations through your vehicles. You're going to have to burn your whole old lives and disappear. They obviously know who we are.
Or we killed them all.
I mean, yeah, maybe this is
You see
option A and
you
option
see Jacques
B,
smile
or-
for the first time. He's like,
no.
that is the heart of a Garou, indeed.
That hurt. That hurt. That hurt.
Yeah.
Like almost all of us.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some thirst for revenge there.
Okay. So we'll say you keep to Eustace's tracks. You get past this little area. You eventually get to this population center. And when I say population center, I use it sparingly. Like this isn't like a bigger city. This isn't Flagstaff. This isn't like Prescott. This isn't Phoenix. This is still a town. And you can see there's a town center, grocery store, stuff like that. You can see there's routes out, and you can see that there's these kind of red and yellowish rock mountains covered in forest left and right. And it actually feels you're much more in tune with nature here than near Phoenix, because Phoenix is just city and then fairly plain desert. Here, there's like a vibrance to it, and there's a smell that's probably in your noses that is really almost invigorating in some particular way. I will say that you probably got a note from Mona down in Tucson, Duke, on how to actually find him. So you don't necessarily we'll say benefit of the doubt. You don't have to go hanging out at a Whataburger and flirting with a manager to figure out where to go. We'll say you're given.
Always such
I'll
a
do
good
it.
plan.
I know you would. But we'll say that happened. And so we'll say you find yourselves venturing very, very far away from that grocery store, that population center. You can see there's like a mini scattered suburb. You can see there's a trailer park. You're passing that. You're going up further eastward and upward as you're climbing these slopes, these rocky slopes. You're kind of occasionally coming out on the bend of a road. Those roads, which start off as paved, eventually turn dirt. Some of them seem kept, and still you're peeking out, you're checking a mailbox here, or you're checking a mile marker there just to make sure you're on the right direction. And you find yourselves almost like maybe almost to the top of this sort of mountain off to the east. And it is the only roads here are unpaved dirt. You see that there are some smaller plots, these private homes, rich people here and there. They are gated. Some of you can hear, and I'm probably Lou, you would be the first to notice this, the buzz of like electrical fences and things like that seem to be squaring off some of these homes. But still you guys spiral up until like you can't even really see down the mountain at a certain point, because the vegetation, the forest just becomes so incredibly thick, and everything is so quiet. Like Lou, you're actually, if you tap into Spider Song, you're not really hearing much in the way of signals. Like you check your phones, you get like a little bar every now and then that blips in and blips out. You hear no sounds of traffic. You hear no sounds of anything really. And then finally, on the side of the road, this dirt road, you see this thing snake up, and it almost seems like the end, but you notice that there's this massive kind of old-fashioned Gothic-like gate, black iron wrought. You can see there's almost these old-fashioned like castle crenellations that erupt out of the forest itself that kind of flank either side. They're like sentry posts, guard towers. You can see there's people moving about like on either side of them. And this wrought iron gate, there is a sigil that is in the middle of these bars, these thick black bars. And it looks like a shield. And it almost looks like a bird talon. And like the fangs and the maw of a wolf are kind of crossed together, almost merged, like one over top of the other as the gates kind of come closed. On the top one of the towers, a window pulls back, And you see leaning out is a person maybe in their late teens, early 20s, dressed in white. And they kind of look down at you all. And they say, Mother said you'd be coming. And we'll go ahead and we'll just leave it there. And we'll pick up on that next time.
I don't think I like this play sizer, actually.
Nice. A cold.
I do. No technology. No bars on your phone.
Jacques going to love it here, man.
Like,
I don't like that.
Up
Just
in
drink the Kool-Aid.
All you have to do is drink bleach every morning. That's it. That's all you got to do.
I can heal from that.
You can exactly. All right, excellent, fantastic. So that is the end of that. Is everyone okay? Is anyone? How close did I get to like? I know I got Lou down with the explosion of the car, but was I pretty
close? I mean, I was.
Yeah.
Even with all the regenerating I was doing, I had 1 block of health left.
Yeah,
that's how close.
I think I had 1 empty block and a few superficial left, but I was close.
I mean, if I hadn't been in Krynos form, you'd have put me down. If I hadn't that 4 extra blocks of health, I'd have gone down.
Yeah. The combination of the grenade and the sniper was.
Yeah, the sniper hurt. That hurt. The 2 shots from that hurt a lot.
Yeah.
If I hadn't been regenerating the entire time, those 2 shots alone would have probably put me down.
So those, that shot is very easy in certain situations, and that situation just it actually worked out really well for them that they were able to get like this very, very, very low difficulty to kind of pull that off. So that's one of the reasons it kept kind of coming off. I am going to guess that we're probably going to see them again, so I'm not going to reveal too many secrets about what actually happened there.
No.
Yeah, who would think that these werewolf catchers might come up again? All right, so why don't we do some closing plugs? F in the chat for Lucas. Jeez, Melissa. I'm killing them all. Not just F in the chat.
My son that you were saying that about.
Damn, Melissa.
It's not the first
poor
one.
You
Lucas.
did it to him.
Everyone made it but Lucas.
Yeah. He could be the new ghost at the bar.
I feel like I am the most innocent in what's
probably
happening.
still alive.
Okay, so we have all right.
Or worse, we find him as a Fomori later on in the story, and then you have to kill him.
Maybe.
Gosh.
Go back
Maybe
to
you never
Phoenix
find him at all.
beforehand.
And you just never, ever know what happened to him.
Except that it was your fault.
It was not your fault.
It's getting dark.
Jeff's fault.
Dark. What? How's it my fault? You're the one who called him over and put him in a second thing with a bunch of zombies. Like, it's not me.
Not at all.
You made them zombies.
And I think we asked you, are you sure? And you're like, oh, yeah. And we're like, okay.
Oh, yeah. I gave so many outs.
Yeah. Are you
There was
sure?
like
so many.
15 minutes of all of us going, is this really the right idea?
All of us. Okay.
Awesome parent. What are you talking about?
It's so good.
Denial is
Oh,
strong.
Lord.
Whenever Renegade makes mage and I run mage, somebody has to have a kid and be a terrible parent to that kid just to kind of carry this.
You got to keep it going.
Okay, well, look, we've
Just
had a
gotta.
4-year-old, a 14-year-old, so the next has to be a 24-year-old. You have to have an
It's not a
adult
kid.
child.
It's not a
The
kid.
last one was an 8-year-old. I mean,
Oh.
Long didn't leave a
Was she
4-year-old.
8?
Long was an 8-year-old.
Close enough. It's child-sized.
I'm tired of being a responsible parent. I want to play an irresponsible parent. That sounds great.
All right. Why don't we do some closing plugs and get out of here? So, Jeremy, tell us about the Patreon.
Yes, Aaron Reese on Patreon. You've got comics, maps, tokens, fun stuff. Check it out.
Fantastic. Aaron, what about Garblag?
On Garblag next week, Tuesday, at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing some Christmas one-shots. I have no idea what the game is going to be, so definitely come and check it out. Then on Wednesday, at the same time, you can join me in the narrator's seat as we continue the Cataclysm of Kang. We start the Friendly Neighborhood Rank 2 adventure for that. And then on Thursday, I believe Pete will be back in the seat running more heroic deeds in the module. Just slipped out of my head.
Red Hand of Doom.
Red Hand of Doom. That's it.
Yep. Awesome. Is a Christmas one shot? It's actually like a Christmas themed one shot, or is it just like a one shot because Christmas time?
I absolutely cannot say either way. There are one shot ideas being thrown around. Some of them may be Christmas themed.
We did a one shot of Electric Bastionland last year. Was it Mary Oddmist or something like that? That was all fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We got to do that again. We got to find a night to do that again.
Our first Conan session was a Christmas one shot where you guys saved Citric Claws.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a good time.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got? So next game's tomorrow night. Well, Aaron, you're running tomorrow night, so what do we got?
We are continuing with Cubicle 7's Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory as our team of troubleshooters from the Veronius Flotilla are in the midst of a Space Hulk. And they just had an interesting encounter with a sister hospitaller who had been corrupted by Nurgle. And one of our characters, I'm not looking at you, Melissa, was horribly maimed by a corrupted chainsword. So,
not me.
We're gonna have some fun.
Yep.
We're gonna see if they survive the Space Hulk. Trial by fire. Should be a good time. Come join us.
Definitely wasn't like me. I used the Hospitaler's head as like a pinata, so I was pretty happy.
Did. Yes,
fun.
you did.
Okay, so after that, then on Saturday. Things are still on schedule as we are planning to begin our new Call of Cthulhu campaign, Eternalize. It is a Trail of Cthulhu campaign that we're going to be playing in the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. Very, very excited. Sort of described by some as the spiritual successor to the massive Nyarlathotep. So very excited to give that a go. Monday, Fragged Empire. You can see the top row in that one. Then on Tuesday, we're going to be playing some Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. We got our X-Men Schools Out campaign, and we're going to have some giveaways, especially if you like Demiplane. You might want to come if you want to get some free stuff with X-Men, or excuse me, with Marvel and Demiplane. Put a Venn diagram together. You're going to get Marvel access on Demiplane, is what I'm saying. So come hang out as we're going to have some giveaways for that. And then we'll be back next Thursday, obviously, with more Werewolf, and we'll see just what's going to happen, who this mother is, and how everything's going to go. So that's it for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for playing. Thanks to those of you who hung out. Stephen, thank you for the $1 billion you spent on the channel tonight. That's really awesome. I'll give it back to you in hugs when you show up here for Christmas. So hang tight. We're going to do a raid. Salmi and RPG. Follow that raid. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Good night.